Hello again, everyone. It's me, Dr. Kirkland. There was a bit of a chat a few days ago about ration packs, the food you get when you're off in the services, and there's a bit of a discussion about how nice they were. And I remember when I was a cadet in the RAF cadets, I had to eat from ration packs, and they weren't so bad. So I thought I would order myself a ration pack and open it up on video and talk through my experiences with all of them, and maybe cook them for you and see what they're like after so much time. But, so, first off, they came in a bag. The ones I used to get were in, like, nice sort of boxes, and you take them apart, and you pack them up in your bags, and, you break them, but these ones seem to come in bags. It's a bit of a disappointment. I was hoping I could relive the old wrenching it open, seeing what we get, but, bag is going to have to do, so let's open it up. Bloody hell. Oh, my house wrapped in one of these when I go on holiday. Right. There we go. What we got? Rations, and lots of them. Wow. So let's put the big bags to one side. We'll save them for last, because they're always the fun ones. Oh, well, you get so much. Incidentally, these are 24-hour ration packs, so these should be enough to last you all day. I'm filming this sort of at the end of Saturday, so I'll probably do it kind of like, it will be a 24-hour period over which I'm going to consume all this, but it won't be starting in the morning, ending in the evening. It'll be starting in sort of late afternoon, early evening, ending around the same time tomorrow. So, what have we got in our plastic bag of goodies? These will be probably stuff you want to keep dry. We get ourselves a spork. Oh, no, it's not a spork. It's a spoon fork. Oh yeah, spork. So it's not. It hasn't got a serrated edge on it. A runcible spoon. That's what my mum always used to call them. Obviously, we'll be eating everything with that just to keep it nice and authentic. Where is it? We get some white sugar, obviously. We get some brown sugar, some demerara. No, we get some creamer. So if you like cream in your stuff. Or I guess you could mix it with water and make it a bit more milky. Yes, water purification tablets. These are for when people are really dehydrated and they need to drink a lot of water. Unfortunately, they make the water taste absolutely horrible. So you only put these into your drink when you absolutely need to. I think, is it one of these for every litre? Yes, add 1 tablet to 1 litre of clear water, leave for 30 minutes before using. It's full of sodium, so it tastes quite salty, and it's not very nice, but it really gets you hydrated if you need it. What's this? Coffee. Don't like coffee. Coffee's horrible. Tea. Now we're talking. Now, clearly this isn't a traditional British rat pack. I say traditional, I don't imagine there's much kind of like pomp and ceremony surrounding it, but when I had them, they were definitely Thai Fu. It was always the brand we got, because it was nice and strong, and everyone liked Thai Fu. And it's just generally quite nice. Now here's the thing. All of this seems to be in brown, which is a bit of a shame. The ones I got were nice and colourful. We have a pack of tissues. I will give you a few seconds to guess what those are for. No, not that. Keep your mind out of the gutter. This is your lavatory paper. It's quite nice though. Yeah, it's very much more kind of Kleenex, proper tissue. The ones I got were kind of more like McDonald's napkins, that kind of papery, plasticky texture to them. They're quite nice. I will not be using those for their intended purposes because I'm not a savage. Antibacterial wipes, obviously. We'll need to wipe our hands before and after we eat, because of course we don't want to have horrible gunky stuff on our hands when we eat, and we don't want to have that on our hands when we start doing stuff, because your hands should be nice and clean. And chewing gum. This is essentially what we have if we, for whatever reason, don't have our toothbrushes and toothpaste with us. Is that like that? Actually, I think it's more once you've finished your meal, you have that to make sure it's not lingering around in your mouth too much, just to keep your teeth nice and clean. Okay, so that's all the bits and bobs. And then we get these lovely things. Strike Anywhere matches. They still give you a striker just because, I don't know. And these things are a godsend, because lighters, traditional matches, if it's windy, they just won't light. These things go off like firecrackers. They're beautiful. And the strikers tend to be a bit naff. So what I always like to do is keep a bit of sandpaper in my map case, which goes in kind of like the big pocket of our like a waterproof schmuck, our overall thing. And yeah, they will light up matches. Beautiful. Also wax lined. So even if they get wet, the outside wax will be wet, but the phosphorus inside is nice and strikeable. So 1 or 2 rubs on the sandpaper gets through the wax and bang straight to the phosphorus. Then it all burns, and the wax, it doesn't stop it from burning. I mean, it's wax, so it'll melt and burns on its own. Very clever. Okay, have we finally gotten to the food? Oh no! Spicy red chili sauce. That means, I think, that is what we get instead of our little bottle of Tabasco. Because every time we had one, we had a proper bottle of Tabasco, not like an off-brand thing. It was Tabasco, nice glass bottle, and they were always used. I'm pretty sure nobody's ever put the Tabasco in the food. What you always do is you mix them all together, you put them in your sergeant's or your warrant officer's water bottle at the last day. So when they're really dehydrated after the 1.5 mile hike, they get to down that. Nobody likes the warrant officer. Okay, now here's the stuff we really like. Strawberry jam. Yes, we used to get these. I think they were called Froobs, something similar. Fraise, strawberry, Eidber, Fragola, Chessa, Moranga. I'm guessing that's lots of different ways of saying the word strawberry. I imagine this is quite nice. Let's give it a little go. Yeah, strawberry jam. What more do you want? I think we get some biscuits in a bit, so we'll spread that on too instead. Tropical fruit and nut mix, or trail mix, as we call it. This is always class. Let's have a look. Yep, it's trail mix. What do you expect? Little nuts, little bits of fruit. Lovely. I've been getting into hiking lately, so what I think I will do is I will take that on my next hike. Just to sort of keep me amused and nutritiated. Very nice. Oh, wow. A great big bag of Mexican sweet chili peanuts. It's probably backwards for you. We'll see if I can flip it round in post. I've never had these before, which means that makes the temptation for eating them all the greater. Yeah, they're just like normal honey roasted peanuts, but presumably it's not honey roasting, it's sweet chili. You're a bit dry and stale. To be expected, it's a ration pack, it's not something you buy in the shop. They're very nice. Oh, yeah. Got a nice bit of heat to it. It's not over hot, as you get with a lot of like novelty spicy things. Oh, here's some peanuts. We've made them spicy. Usually it's just the spice is very poor. That's quite delicate, very nice sweet chili. So yeah, I'm quite a fan of that. Okay, now on to the big stuff that we like. Oh, I can tell just by the feel this is. Yep, tropical flavoured drink fruit powder. Basically, this is like squash cordial, except it's in a powdered form. So instead of it being, you know, squash that they've reduced some of the liquid out of, all the liquid's gone. So you mix, well, what you're meant to do is mix some of this into water, and you get like a nice fruit drink. But the problem is the fruit drink often didn't taste very nice. So what we always used to do is eat it straight out of the bag. It's kind of like a pudding. It'd be kind of like a dipping sherbet. It really is like a sort of sherbety thing. A kind of white, sort of almost cocaine-y looking stuff. Pretend I didn't say that. You know, 8 bottoms up. Oh, that's absolutely lovely. Yep, very tasty. Very sweet. Probably not very good for you. So, ticks all of the right boxes. Delicious. Can have a couple more of them. Energy drink powder, probably the same, although I imagine that's, yeah, blackcurrant flavoured. Do you have any more? These are all the meals, we'll have a look at them in a bit. Oh, this one. No, that's a bit of, oh yeah, orange flavoured drink powder. Yep. So we get 3 different flavours. Oh, fortified energy drink powder. This will be the kind of stuff, oh no, it's the same thing, just apple flavoured. So we get 4 different flavours of sherbet, basically. We might mix one of them in. Maybe the orange would be quite nice, but the tropical tends to be rubbish. Ooh. Ooh, I have not had these. I thought these were just going to be plain old digestive biscuits. These are apricot oat biscuits. I'm curious to see what they are. They're just going to be biscuits with bits of apricot in. Yeah, basically. Kind of, what do you call them in America? Graham crackers? Graham crackers? Something like that? We just call them digestives. And yeah, they're alright, but mainly what you have with these is either the jam. Jam on crackers sounds a bit funny, but I mean, what else are you going to do? We'll come back to that in a bit. No. Oh, we don't have any. Oh, of course, this is the vegetarian one. You often get like little tubes of pate, and you're meant to put them on the biscuits, and they're quite good for the quite high fibre and everything, so keep you nice and regular. Oh. Very nice. This is hot chocolate powder. It goes with the rest of the hot drinks, the tea and the coffee. I hate coffee. This I'm very excited for. Can you read that? Gâteau au chocolat. Oh, right at the top. Chocolate cake. Wow, I never got chocolate cake in a ration pack. Never even got pudding. The jam is basically as close as you get. Maybe the sherbet. But yeah, this is great. This is actually going to look like a better meal than I normally eat. Should be for bleeding, how much is this? 18 quid. But of course it's meant to last you a whole day and keep you nice and nutrified and all stuff like that. And now we get on to the fun bits. The meals. So let's have a look at the top ones. It's like Christmas, isn't it? What have we got here? Cooked rice. Is that it? Cooked rice? Oh, does it go with something else? Pindi chana aloo. Guessing is that some kind of curry? Oh yes, presumably we have this with we have a curry and then we serve it with the rice. Sounds good. I'm not much of a curry person, but usually because most curries have meat in these days. So if this is a vegetarian one, I'll be more than happy to give that a go. How does it feel? That's the best way of telling you how good a ration pack is to feel. Also, you'll notice no tins. Nothing here is sealed in a tin. It's all boil in the bag, which is brilliant. That means you don't have to do any washing up. Means it's easy to cook. It means all you need to do is put it in the boiling water, and then you still have the boiling water later on for mixing with your hot chocolate or your coffee or your whatever in order to make a nice drink. Very clever. Okay, I might have that for my dinner, depending on what the rest are. What do we have here? Vegetable and chickpea biryani. Brown basmati and wild rice mixed with vegetables in an aromatic biryani sauce. That sounds lovely, but I have no idea what it is. That sounds kind of like the curry as well, because of course boil in the bag curries have been done for a very, very long time, so they translate really, really well to these kind of boil in the bag wrap packs. Okay, I guess I'll just have to see what that is when I've cooked it. Put that to one side, and last but not least, this should be the good one. Oh yes, we've won the jackpot, ladies and gentlemen. Can we read that? Vegetarian all-day breakfast. This is the kind of thing I would pray for whenever I was at Walk-Up, because they were delicious. They had bits of egg in, they had bits of sausage in, a vegetarian sausage obviously, beans, potato, just everything to keep you nice and warm and happy and fresh in the morning. These are, they're so lovely. And of course, because these are all cooked, if you couldn't be asked to actually make your camp up and set up your burner and all stuff like that, you could just eat it cold. I mean, it wouldn't be as nice, wouldn't be anywhere near as nice as hot. Well, except for occasionally you got these quite nice pasta salads. They were kind of like pasta with a bit of, salad in. You know what pasta salad is. They were much better cold, because when they were warm, they had that kind of gooey, kind of blah, 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 sticky together horribleness. But when they were cold, they were nice and crisp and all stuff like that. But yeah, this in some ways it's a lot better than the old ration packs I used to get. On the downside, I do remember we used to get big old strings of what they're called, sucky sweets, boiled sweets, and they were really good for having in your pocket on a long day, because if you're marching for a long period and you need something to keep you entertained, something to keep your spirits up, nothing does better than a nice bag of sweets. They weren't too great, but I mean, they were nice. We didn't get as many sherbets though, and I do like the sherbets. In fact, I'm going to have a little bit more of this tropical, because it's piqued my interest. Like Scarface. Did not get chocolate cake. That is already a massive win. Other than that, I don't know, it feels a little bit more bare bones than the ones I was used to. because we also used to get like peanut butter. And oh yeah, that's what we used to have. Instead of the pate, we used to get peanut butter for putting on our things, and I didn't really like it. But it was on the things, and I squeezed them together. It was like a little artificial s'more. So instead of having chocolate in the middle, we had peanut butter. That wasn't too bad. The tea is a bit of a letdown because I really like Thai food tea. And I can't really get it locally because my parents only ever buy Yorkshire tea, and I always forget when I'm out. Chili peanuts, they're nice enough. So let's look on the bright side. It's good, it's interesting, and it is a bit of a blast from the past. So, before I go off and cook this on my nice fancy hob, I thought I'd show you how we used to cook them when we were in the field. So for those who haven't seen this before, these are what we call mess tins. They are incredibly simple. They are just rectangular bits of metal. There is absolutely nothing fancy about them, except this handle. This handle's great. So, what we do is you'd have like a burner here. That would be, it would either be connected to the gas, or the one I always used to have was a paraffin heater. So it had like waxy tablets that you'd break off a bit, light it and put it in, and that was great because you didn't have to carry like a big old gas canister with you. That could all fall down, and in the case of my one, because I had a really good one, I used to wrap it in a couple of plastic bags and put it in my mess tin. Because of course when these two go together, there's still a great big gap in the middle where you can store stuff. Most people, I was a brew kit. Did I have a brew kit? Yes, I did. I used to keep my brew kit in my notepad sort of holder thing, because that way I could make a tea whenever I wanted it. But I wasn't much of a tea person when I was younger, sort of grown into it. So the way these work is there's a big one, and there's a small one. If this looks like small. Okay. Guess, which one do we put on the bottom? The big one or the small one? No, you're wrong. It's the big one. There we go. There's a good reason for that, especially if you're using a paraffin heater like I am, which is the paraffin is toxic. You shouldn't inhale it, and you certainly can't eat or drink it. So if you put the small one on first, so what you do is you get your boil in the bag food, you squish it all down at the top, so it's all in the bottom half. You fold it over, stick it in the boiling water like that. Well, these are a bit taller than I'm used to. Stick them into the water like that, so it's all covered and boiling. Then you can get your second half of the mess tin and put it on top as a kind of lid. And that keeps it nice and hot. Now, here's what you'll notice. Because this is the bigger one, this is the smaller one, the lip is underneath the mess tin. So what that means is the noxious paraffin fumes will come up, go into the sort of overall thing. It won't affect the actual bag, but it'll toxify the water. It means you won't be able to drink it, you can't mix it with your hot chocolate, whatever, in order to make a nice afters drink. Or you will do that and you'll make yourself very, very sick. So you put the big one on the bottom, like that, and that little one goes on top. Leave it for, I think, is it 8 minutes? Yes, 8 minutes. 7 to 8 minutes is the standard. And then after that, pop it up. You got yourself a little tab. Get like a piece of your tissue. Oh, done. There you go. Peel it open and eat. We don't then. Sometimes you could pour it into the mess tin, but why would you? Just eat it out of your bag with a lovely runcible spoon, and then you don't have to wash up at the end of the day. It's brilliant. So we're starting off with the vegetarian all-day breakfast. Now, unfortunately, this has already been unpacked. I was hoping to unpack it all on video and open it up for you, but turns out I wasn't actually recording when I did that, so that's been lost, which is a bit of a shame. But let me just go over what we've got. So let's give you a nice view of our breakfast. There it is. Trying to make sure you can see it. Oh yeah. So you've got bits of egg, bits of sausage, bits of beans. On we go. Bits of beans. And just all sorts of, breakfasty delight. It's kind of like a full English breakfast if you got rid of all the stuff that's meaty, like black pudding, and replaced the, fully the sort of the meaty shaped sausages and stuff with vegetarian equivalents, and it's lovely. Objectively, it's poor because it's watery, it's stodgy, it's gelatinous. It'll give me indigestion like nobody's business, but just when you combine all of these things that I love, because, I'm British, you're going to like a full English breakfast no matter what you say. But then you combine it with my nostalgia of waking up at 6 o'clock, because it's now 9 o'clock-ish, and I would probably be eating these closer to 6, maybe 7. You wake up at 6 o'clock, and you're cold, and you're damp, and you're miserable, and you get this over a fire, and you wait for 8 or 9 minutes for it to all warm up, and then you open it up and smell, and it's like sunlight just bursts out from the canopy and shines down onto your beautiful full English or vegetarian all day breakfast, and you fall in love with your vegetarian all day breakfast, because it's keeping you warm, it's keeping you happy, it's keeping you well fed. It reminds you that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Nothing really much to say. I was hoping I could do what most YouTubers do and say, "Ooh, isn't this horrible? Ooh, oh my god!" But no, this is just really nice. This is just going to be what I'm having for my breakfast. So it's a really nice, warmed, all day breakfast. So it's going to be very filling, very tasty. I have made an aperitif, which is the blackcurrant powdered drink cordial thing. Now, it did say you wanted to make 500 millilitres of the stuff, but instantly, just looking at that, you can quite clearly see it's a bit weak. Now, I probably have something maybe 4 or 5 times darker than this, but maybe there's some colouring put into that, into like normal squashes to make them look healthier, and this tastes the same. Anyway, let's give it a quick glug. I mean, it's fine. I would have it stronger, but I guess if you're trying to hydrate, you wouldn't want something super strong and tart and tannin at the back of your mouth. So maybe something a bit lighter and watery will, hydrate you a bit better, quench your thirst a bit more. Because of course the problem with a lot of cordials is they have high salt and other preservatives in that make you thirstier, so you drink more, so you buy more, yada yada yada. But yeah, that's quite nice. This breakfast is delicious. It's bring me back to those halcyon days of yore. Nothing really much to say, except I'll see you at lunch. Up next, we have lunch, which is going to be this vegetable and chickpea biryani. Biryani, there we go. For some reason, it's flipped on the camera, so I can't read it properly. I'm not sure what to expect on this one, because I don't know what a biryani is, and I deliberately didn't look it up, because often, of course, I had to eat things I had no idea what it was, but when you're tired and you're hungry, you quite happily eat anything that you're given that's hot. Okay, what's it got in it? Water, tomatoes, onion, brown basmati rice, chickpeas. Basically, it's got stuff that goes in a curry. I imagine it's going to be a curry. Got myself my little bowl. Unfortunately, I do not have my runcible spoon, so I've got myself a normal metal fork. I promise I'll have it by dinner. Let's crack this puppy open. There we are, give it a whiff. I mean, yeah, it smells like a curry. I'm not much of a curry man myself, but, you often don't get to choose. It's beggars can't be choosers. I imagine there's a more, beggar-friendly use of that phrase. And there's a lot of vegetables and stuff in it. Let's have it out. Let's see what's inside. Come on, out we come. Yeah, doesn't that look appetizing? I'm going to have to give this a bit of a squeeze, but of course it is boiling hot, quite literally, because it has just been in a boiling pan for 8 minutes. All of these meals take 8 minutes, by the way. My bag is hot. Good lord. Let's see if I can just scrape that down. I don't get any on my mum's nice table, which I used to make Warhammer models on. So there was like a million tiny little cut marks because I used it as a kind of chopping board. And she did not like that. So when she found out, she told me how to do it in my room. And they have since sort of like, my dad has, sanded it down, planed it down, and then varnished over it again. We've got all that. It's quite stiff and stodgy. Let's see if I can level that out a bit so we can get a nice little overview. Can you see that? Trying to make sure I can see what you're seeing. Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of like a curry, but normally I would have curry on one side, rice on the other. On the few times I have had curries, whereas this is kind of all mixed in. I mean, I usually then mix it in anyway, so hopefully it should make a difference. I'll just put the little tabby thing at the top up. The centres. There. Lovely. Right, so dig in. What's it like? No, it's that spicy, so that's good. I'm not much of a spice fanatic, but yeah, it's not really spicy at all, to be honest. It's just, yeah, it's fine. A little bit of heat. That's good. You don't want things to be too hot, because of course, you eat something spicy, you do a lot of exercise, you start to get the belly issues, which are the last thing you want when you're out on manoeuvres or anything. But yeah, lots of different things. I see peas, I see chickpeas, bits of leek, I think, tomato puree, stuff like that. It's very tasty, it's very nutritious, quite stodgy. Not something you might want to eat early on, but if you're having a late lunch, this is probably good. Once you've all woken up and your digestion is working properly. Very tasty. Not my kind of thing, got to be honest. Lunchtime I probably want something more like maybe a pasta salad. If I was doing a DV or something and I didn't have ration packs, a really good one is usually like the dolmio boil in the bag ones. I think they say you have to refrigerate them, but usually they're fine. Especially if you're out in Scotland. I mean, it's basically a fridge already. Yeah, boil them up, add a bit of pasta sauce. It's like you're back home. The problem with those is, of course, you have to then put them into like a bowl or something, mix the pasta up and then eat it. You can't so much do it in the bag, because the bag is kind of, you know, for cost reasons, it's meant to be like big enough, just enough to hold the pasta. So if you start mixing the sauce in, it'll overflow and be a bit horrible. Although you could, yeah, I guess you could eat a bit of it, put the sauce in, mix it up, then eat the rest, but I don't know. You know what? It's got rice, it's got vegetables, it's got chickpeas. I'm very fond of chickpeas. Actually, I'm going to make a note of this. Vegetable and chickpea biryani with brown basmati and wild rice mixed in vegetables and an aromatic biryani sauce. So I guess I'm going to have to try some more biryanis. This is really nice. See you at dinner time. And last but not least, we have the pindi chana aloo with the cooked rice. Okay. Feels nice and soft. Firm for the rye. I think this is going to be really nice. Let's crack this open. Oh yes, very much an Indian sort of spicy, yeah. Ooh, actually, it's a bit of a surprise. It doesn't look like a curry. Can you have a look at that? It's like full of little balls. I don't know what this is. I mean, you could probably Google it. I'll probably will when I get back. Doesn't really say what it is. Chana masala. Coriander. Oh, coriander. That is always good for me. Do you like coriander at home? Apparently it tastes different to different people. Some people like it, what's the term? Some people think, rather, it tastes soapy, I think. Interesting story. When I was at school, there was a young lad who was suspended for dealing drugs at school. And when they checked his locker for stuff, and they found a bag of green stuff, and it was just coriander. It was, what do you Americans call it? Cilantro. Cilantro? Yes, cilantro. And in comes the lovely basmati rice. I mean, not really much to say about this one. It looks like it's going to be curry and rice. I mean, this is done every day, boil in the bag. Nothing particularly special about it, but wow. As you can see, let me just bring the camera in. Ooh, let's not show my sexy face. Can you see that? No half portions, nice and healthy, all looks delicious. Super. Right, let's pop this back up once again. Don't want you to see my face. I don't know who you people are. Let's get that back. Let's dig in with our principal spoon. boiling hot. Bit more rice. I think these are, the lumps are sort of potatoey. Yep. It's not potato, then they're just a kind of tubery vegetable, like maybe radish or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's nice. It's basically a curry with some well done boiled basmati rice. Very tasty, and this is going to be a very nice dinner, right? Not much to say. Very tasty, very spicy. Well, not very, very spicy. It's very spicy to me because I can't take my spice very well. But other than that, it's delicious. I might add some salt. Obviously, I won't do that here because I'm trying to make it a nice, authentic experience, and don't really have salt or pepper in the wrap packs, so I won't use it here. But yeah, if I was making this at home, I'd definitely add a bit of salt, or maybe some pepper. But it's already quite spicy, so shouldn't really need that heat. Yeah, I'm going to go off and finish this for my dinner. See you in a bit. And to finish off, we have chocolate cake. Now, I was getting quite excited because I've never had boiled-in-the-bag chocolate cake before. But then, as I scoured the packaging, I noticed that there are no heating instructions. So my guess is this is meant to be served cold. That's a bit of a problem for me. I normally have all my cake served hot, preferably fresh, out of the fridge, into the microwave, heated for 30 seconds. As it gets nice and gooey, or maybe cooked fresh if it's in a restaurant, that would be ideal. But, I do as the packaging commands. Opening it up. Wow, there we are. Oh no, it's got that weird sort of internal packaging on it too. Ooh. So it's got like another layer of wrap in it. That is odd, because I would assume that would be to stop it kind of like disintegrating when you heated it. But, don't know what to say about that one. Don't have to pour this one so you can see. It is just a normal strip of chocolate cake. The kind you'd probably get with, I don't know, if you went to like a birthday party and they had like a massive old tray of cake, like a slice of that. It looks okay. It's quite dense. I mean, it's very, very, very dense indeed. But it smells nice. Chocolatey. And yeah, it just looks like a piece of chocolate cake. It's a particular type. It's reminding me of it's reminding me of saurine. That stuff that I've no idea what it's made of. I've no idea what it tastes like, no idea what it does. I just know I don't like it, and my dad loves it. So, make a cake with those ingredients. What is it called? Yeah, those little spirally, they're like mini Swiss rolls. It's got that kind of, quite processed, quite manufactured cake it is. So, all right, let's have a bite. Yeah, it's chocolate cake. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe because it's called gâteau on the front, but of course that's in French. And in France, they just call normal cake gâteau. We call fancy cake gâteau over here. In France, they call fancy cake, I believe, le cake. I don't know where I heard that. That doesn't sound true, but it could be. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice. I get the feeling if I'd heated this up properly, I probably would have finished the whole thing. It's a bit kind of doughy and floury, so it's not really my kind of thing. A little bit of bite, yeah. It's a bit of an effort to chew, so I might put that to one side. But that is all our meals done. I will see you for a roundup. And that's that. That is the main food of our 24-hour ration pack. I must admit, it lasted a little bit longer than 24 hours, but I mean, who's counting at the end of the day? I guess all things considered, it was really good. I mean, it brought me back to the halcyon days of yore, where I would eat them quite regularly, sometimes weeks at a time. Food was good, often a lot better than what I'd normally get. It was a bit samey, because 2 of the meals were basically the same, spicy, chickpea, that kind of stuff, but I imagine that's down to the company I ordered it from. Maybe if I order it somewhere else, there'd be a bit more variety. there were also like 10 menu choices and only one of them was vegetarian. So if you're a meat eater and you want to try this, there will be a lot of variety. As for downsides, I guess it's a bit of a disappointment that it wasn't all proper branded stuff like Thai Food Tea. Thai Food Tea is really good. If you've never had it before, try it. It's nice and strong. And just, I guess, the chocolate cake is a bit of a letdown because I was hoping for something a bit more fudgy and runny, but yeah, I mean, it kind of has to be in this kind of semi-utilitarian state because otherwise it's not going to be cheap enough to mass produce, and it's better to have at least some chocolate cake than none at all. I might give it a go. If I get the same thing again, I might give boiling it a bag a go because it doesn't say it can be cooked, but it also doesn't say do not cook or will explode. So maybe it's worth a go. Oh, no, those aren't instructions. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's a really good pack. Recommend you try it. If you've never had a ration pack before, they're very nice. This one was particularly good. And yeah, I mean, it's not something you could live on because, like I said, it was something like £22–23 once it's gotten shipped, and that's for one full day of food. When I was a student, I think I could have lived off something like £3 for a day. If I buy things in like massive bulk and spread them up and make big ones at the start of the week and cutting it up and stuff like that. So this was, very much, to serve a purpose. This wouldn't be something you would eat normally. The food, while it's nice, it's like nice in a kind of mass-produced way. It's not as good as something I'd cook at home, certainly not as good as something I'd get at a restaurant, but it's entirely fine. I tried the trail mix on a hike, and it wasn't quite what I was expecting. There was a lot of just sort of plain nuts and dried out bits of fruit and stuff, as opposed to something a bit more salty and like raisins and stuff you can really get your teeth around. But that's just me. I like things as salty as they can be. Anything else? Yeah, the chili peanuts. I had a couple of them. They were really nice. I thought I'll put them away. I'll snack on them in the future. And then when I had them the next day, they were horrible. They just got really, really dry. I assume the idea is you're meant to eat them all in one day, and then after that they'll go a bit manky because chemicals are meant to keep them stored in the packaging. Once you open it up, it's going to start messing it up, and they're only meant to last a day because then you have another ration pack for the next day. I keep seeing bits of my beard, my horrible, horrible beard. I'll try and keep my shoulders up. And yeah, the tea was fine. Hot chocolate was fine. The powders, the energy drink stuff, that was fine. Very nice sherbet. Again, maybe make one of them into a drink. Probably do it in half the quantity it suggests because it was very weak when I made it as a drink. But as a kind of, very good. And yeah, that was it. The breakfast, of course, was very nice. Usually I'd probably have that with maybe some bread as well. I should have done some bread because usually they bring along a couple of loaves that you can just, either fry or put in a little bit of oil or a bit of butter, put it in a mess tin, and you get kind of like fried bread that works quite well. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. If any of you have had ration packs before, compare experiences, I guess, compare my notes on the stuff, and I hope to hear from you. And if any of you do decide to do it, maybe give it a video and we can all watch that as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know how enjoyable the video of this has been, but I've certainly enjoyed making it. I've enjoyed eating the food, and I'll enjoy hearing your responses. So thank you and goodbye.